The Philosopher and His Student, Plato and Aristotle's Journey. The afternoon sun bathed Athens in golden light as a warm breeze rustled through the olive trees. In the heart of the city, within the sacred grounds of the academy, a group of young men sat in a semicircle around a tall, bearded figure. His eyes were sharp, his robes flowing like the sea, and his voice carried the weight of wisdom. This was Plato, the great philosopher, and he was in the midst of one of his most important lectures. "The world you see before you," Plato declared, gesturing at the gardens around them, "is but a shadow, a mere reflection of a higher, more perfect reality, the realm of the forms." A murmur spread among the students. Some nodded in understanding while others furrowed their brows. But one among them, Aristotle, sat with his arms crossed, deep in thought. His mind worked like a craftsman's hands, dissecting every word, every claim. Plato continued, "Everything in this world, the trees, the stars, even the soul, derives its nature from the eternal forms. A chair is a chair because it participates in the form of chairness. A good man is good because he partakes in the form of goodness." At last Aristotle raised his hand. "Master, if I may ask," he said, his voice clear and firm, "where do these forms exist? Can we see them? Touch them?" Plato smiled as if expecting the question.
"No, my dear Aristotle."
"They exist beyond the physical world, in a realm only the mind can grasp. The senses deceive us. Reason alone leads to truth." Aristotle nodded slowly but remained unconvinced. The lesson ended, but the conversation had just begun. A clash of minds. That evening, long after the other students had left, Aristotle sought out his teacher in the shaded courtyard of the academy. The city was quiet, save for the distant sounds of merchants closing their stalls and the occasional laughter of passing citizens. Plato sat on a stone bench gazing at the sky, lost in thought. Approached and sat beside. "Master," he said, "forgive me if I question too much, but I struggle with this idea of forms. You say they are the true reality, yet they are unseen and untouchable. Should we not learn from what we can observe in nature?" Plato chuckled. "Ah, Aristotle, you have the mind of an investigator. But do you not see? The senses can be fooled. When you see a stick in water, it appears bent, yet reason tells us it is straight. The world deceives, but the intellect reveals truth." Aristotle hesitated. "Yet we must use reason to make sense of what we observe. What if reality is not separate from the world, but found within it? What if we study things as they are, rather than assume an unseen world exists beyond them?" Plato sighed, placing a hand on Aristotle's shoulder. "You are a brilliant student, Aristotle, but perhaps you will take a different path. You see knowledge as something drawn from experience, while I see it as something remembered from beyond this life.